Welcome to Women Economic Forum 2016. Good afternoon, all of you. Our today's session regarding the image of woman being portrayed by the media. So our today's panelist, Kate Reynolds, she is a former mayor of London Borough of Enfield from UK. So she will be more focused on this topic. So please welcome her.
Thank you very much. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I know there's not much of us here, but I know that there are many sessions going out everywhere. And whatever message we give today, we get to so many people. My name is Kate Anoloe, and I was the former mayor of London Borough of Enfield. And I'm very, very much particular about this topic today, and that is the way the media portray women. Sometimes I wonder whether it is our fault, or whether it's the media fault, or generally whether it's both male and female fault. For example, I know that coming from England, we used to have, the paper is still there, the Sun newspaper, and everybody goes to page 3. And what is on page 3? A young woman, bare body, and all the time being focused on her nature, either style, posture, her movement, or what she's wearing, or what she's not wearing, and the size of her chest, and small or large. And it began to, like, everybody buys that newspaper just for that. And generally, as time goes on, we soon realize that this is not a good image for women. Because what it's showing is that women, we've only just got a pretty face and nothing more. And we are there to satisfy the sexual desire of men or that of equal sexes. This actually, a lot of women were very disappointed by the newspaper, and the only thing that we could do was to have a massive, massive campaign against the newspaper and against the way they portray women in their newspaper. Because what it shows is that we are not good for anything, and we begin to wonder, when you look back, if the paper can portray us in this manner, why do we bother about asking, why are women not leaders? Why are women not in top positions? Why are women not in the board, in the corporation in board? It's because we've allowed ourselves to be portrayed as what they call bimbos. And that is really, just good for showing our body, showing probably that our head are empty, and yet it's not. So I think we all have to fight the media, but before then, we have to actually look at ourselves and see whether we want to show ourselves as equal to men, and we can achieve what men have achieved, and that even if we want to show our figure, it cannot be portrayed in that manner. And we at times encourage the newspaper to see us the way they portray us. I know it's nice to dress up very fashionable, but sometimes we go very skimpy, that we send a different message to the world. And that is what is so important, that we, as women, should be the one to stop the newspaper caricaturing us as just figure women for dressing up, or women for showing our bodies, or our body parts. And it's not surprising that leadership or top jobs doesn't come to us, because majority of the say the people in charge of top positions, top offices, doesn't see women as anything other than show their body and show their figures. I didn't say that it's not good to be show you that you've got a figure. Another English word says, if you've got it, front it. But it depends on the way you front it. And it depends on the way you allow the newspaper to front yourself. And obviously, once one woman allows the newspaper to use them as anyhow, it means definitely that in general, they're going to see every single one of us women as just being people that just want to show their body or want to show their figure. So the way the newspaper portray us, it's we, I'm sorry, but it's we, the women, that do encourage them. So we have to be careful the way we dress up, the way we portray ourselves. And now in England, we're so happy that following our campaign, the Sun newspaper does not have the women or the naked or those bimbos we call in the newspaper page 3 anymore, because we have fought against it and we have regained our image. So likewise, I like our young women, especially the young women growing up. It's very important that we show them that dignity also comes in the way you dress up.
Our next speaker is Mr. Divesh Nath. He is the editor, Woman Era and director, Delhi Press from India. Please welcome.
Thank you. Welcome to everybody in the audience. Carrying on the conversation, as you have mentioned, the position in India is slightly different. Sometime back, our top boss was a woman, Sonia Gandhi. And we just finished some elections yesterday. There are 3 women who championed the states. One is Mamata Banerjee, Jayalalitha. And, so I mean, if we count in India, I think most of the top positions in India in politics, which then in turn controls a lot of governance and corporates, are women. And Bollywood is perhaps the largest in terms of portraying women on either side. And that is what the country basically follows. A lot of fashion comes from Bollywood, a lot of themes come from Bollywood, a lot of stories come from Bollywood. And women in Bollywood are portrayed in both ways. And there are item girls, which have been there since the 1940s. And then also these very straight and powerful women who are portrayed in the movies. I mean, I come from a women's magazine. We are Women's Era magazine. We are one of the largest magazines in South Asia in terms of circulation and reach. We also have a Facebook page, which reaches about 8 million likes and 100 million people every 20 days. I understand that there are 2 kinds of women's magazines. One is a women's magazine which is about women, and there is another women's magazine which is for women. Right? Okay. So what you're talking about is an area where you produce a magazine which is for women rather than about women. So in Women's Era, our editorial content is generally focusing, treating women as people, and we give them everything, from finance to travel to healthcare to relationships and everything, where just health or health and sex, is not the only primary editorial content. As far as media is concerned, in terms of portraying women, I think a lot of it has to go to our journalists, and there is a certain kind of journalists who would want to get circulation in newspapers and TRPs on the television channel, and they would want something sleazy, coming out of society. And everything happens in the society. I don't think even 0.01% of it is reported. If if you start reporting everything that is there in the society, I mean, I'm sure nobody can catch up to that, and you can probably look at social media about how much goes on in the society. And as far as women empowerment goes, I think women have been empowered since they were there. Ever since, they were there. This thing about women empowerment, women laws, and everything is okay. There's nothing wrong with that, but I think it is overblown. There's a section of media which, if one of us remembers the feminist movement.
Sorry, I agree with you completely there.
Yeah.
I think it's just that in the cities, maybe certain sections don't need women empowerment.
Yeah.
But there are still certain socio-economic
Sections.
where actually it needs to be implemented and it doesn't.
But then they don't need women empowerment, they need empowerment. If you're talking about the JJ colony clusters, or if you're talking about people who have less resources and all, so it is not just their women, it is everybody who is impacted.
No, I agree that everybody needs empowerment.
Yeah.
So I think men need empowerment more these days. But in certain areas, women still get dominated, with certain customs, due to certain social customs.
But
So
last,
that man is behind, not the individual women. Let him finish, then we will have
Okay.
a talk.
Very nice subject.
classically speaking, all of history, if you were to go to the Greek history, or Indian history, Chinese, or American history, women have played a very significant role. At least, the epics that we have in India, Mahabharata, Ramayana. Ramayana is a huge epic, it was 13 books. It is 1 million words. And 80% of that is women. And there are women, who have changed. The women who have changed the entire story by what they've done, and that's how media. That is how media has represented them. It is a section of journalism, or it is a section of journalism is also art. If you would want to correlate with that, there are these paintings which have been done since maybe colors were formed or man started to draw lines, and they all portray everybody. So this debate about how media portrays women, bad or good, is as good a debate as how media portrays anything. Whether it is bad corporate law or good corporate law, or it is somebody doing a scam and not doing a scam. So that's what our take at it is, and we do a women's magazine which carries a huge amount of canvas and run stories on everything. Yes.
You are the owner of this editor. So it is not like you are just an editor. You are the owner. And as you are saying, journalist. Being journalist, I know journalists don't have a much say. It's the houses